Culinary rituals form a part of Register of Registers, a major research. It is a cabinet of personal narratives and modern phantasmagories. It is led and carried out by Mara Sánchez Llorens and Fermina Garrido López. Culinary rituals explore female archives of architecture, looking for rituals that reformulate the idea of domesticity created by modern architecture. Many of these rituals have been used as strategies in online teaching architecture in the last 2 years. It explores, among other concepts, the rituals around the culinary in the work of women architects and creators in the 20th century. This research begins and its focus on the work on Lina Bobardi and Ray Eames. We are going to start with their own words.
Feminista. Agora, isso não quer dizer que as mulheres não possam fazer nada na vida, podem fazer coisas muito importantes. Mas eu só gosto de homens.
Charles Eames. Come on in, Ray. Hello, I'm so happy to see you. This is Mrs. Eames, and she's going to tell us how she helps Charles design these chairs. How do you manage that?
Well, aside from serving as an extreme in the testing of the chair, there are a million things. But I think the most difficult thing is to keep the big idea, to be able to look critically at the work. But actually this applies to everyone in the office, including Charles.
Yes, well, I think it's the best, it's almost the best thing to have in a working family is a critical viewpoint of your husband's work so that he can improve along with it. Otherwise, he might be stagnant or stand still, which is certainly not the case with Eames. I wonder if you'd tell us some of the highlights of your careers in designing these chairs. How did you happen to get started with chairs? Ray, do you want to say anything about it? All right, Charles.
Well, Ray was a painter. Ray worked here in New York with Hans Hofmann for a long time, which is a pretty good start. I'm an architect. I always had a background of an architect, and I don't know if you know, architects think that everything comes under the heading of architecture, whether it's chairs or space platforms, everything.
Yes, even dresses and
Oh, by all means, they have structure.
Everything is architecturally built. Well, I noticed that each of the chairs that we have here is slightly different in appearance from the original chair. I wonder if you're going to maybe take us through and show how the Eames chair has developed. And Ray, shall we let Charles do it, or do you want to help with it? No, you see, as I told you, she is behind the man, but terribly important. Thank you, Ray. All right, Charles, let's start with the first.
This presentation, Culinary Rituals, has 3 parts. The first one resumes the genealogy of the global research. The second one is focused on the culinary work of Lina and Ray. The third part narrates an international collaborative network teaching meeting around these rituals. Let's start with the genealogy of Register of Registers, cabinets of personal narratives and modern phantasmagorias. In 2011, Mara and I were requested to organize a university course, Project Strategies. We have launched quick exercises based on common interest. Memories, objects, trips, or games were shared items between us. Lina Bobardi and the Eames were frequent and constant references. After some years teaching together and sharing concerns, we decided to present an oral communication to matrices, an international gender congress in Lisbon. The presentation dealt with the trips of Lina and Ray. From this oral communication, we developed a research and a book.
A architettura não é um fato avulso de uma cultura ou de uma situação político-social. Uma arquitetura falha é o resultado de uma cultura falha, de uma situação político-social falha. O arquiteto depende diretamente dessa situação político-social. O arquiteto não pode ser o homem, o artista, o criador isolado. Ele depende diretamente dessas situações político-sociais. A situação de uma arquitetura tem que ser julgada nesses termos.
Las pequeñas historias de
The problem that follows is closer to our everyday experience, but the steps toward its solution are very much the same.
The Hartmans are back. Now, we just have to give that party. Let's see, the 25th is Harry's birthday. That's a week from Thursday. No, Harry's boss and his wife will be here Friday, and we really should give it for them. And it should be black tie. They'd enjoy meeting the McKnights. And I almost forgot Dr. Schlosser. Where's that list? The Coopers will be fun. Harry's sister and her husband. Was that due to the seating? Let's see, Jane is on Harry's left, Mrs. Townsend's on the right, Mr. Townsend on my right, and Steve here. Mimi Cooper next to Mr. Townsend. No, she'll talk his ear off. I'll put her next to Steve. He's a little hard of hearing. George McKnight here, Alice Hartman and Dr. Schlosser. Now he's apt to pinch Mrs. Townsend. I'll put him next to me. And move Steve between Mimi Cooper and Alice Hartman. And I'll put George McKnight next to Mrs. Townsend, and on the other side, Virginia McKnight and Charlie Cooper. That puts him opposite Steve. Oh, not after that incident last Saturday. I'll raise the centerpiece. That leaves Sam Hartman. Wait a minute. Now, how many do I have? I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 13? I'll have to invite another girl. Cleo Fenwick will be back from Reno by then. No, the wives wouldn't like that. I guess I better scratch Dr. Schlosser.
stated her problem, abstracted the essentials, tried out the relationships, and made her decision.